As President Trump says, he will nominate a replacement for Justice Ginsburg probably by the end of the week. If successful, how will his pick shape the future of the Supreme Court? News 3's Denise Turner is in studio with us to look at how Trump's pick could affect our region. Denise?
Law experts at SIUC's law school. I wanted to get an insight on the types of changes we could possibly see with the new nomination, and here's what they shared with me. Stephen Macias is an associate professor of law, an associate dean at SIU, and an expert on the Supreme Court. He says Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was not the first appointed woman to the Supreme Court, but she is the first woman justice to focus on female equality. Now, with her voice removed and the president set to name a nominee, some question what it could mean for the country and our area.
That vacancy, I think, is significant because it some fear would undo some of the main areas that were near and dear to Justice Ginsburg's heart, like sex equality, like abortion rights.
But Macias believes her replacement with a more conservative justice will probably be more significant to states that don't have strong protections for those issues, like Illinois does.
If there was to be some alteration of the abortion precedent of Roe versus Wade, those rights would probably still be protected in Illinois. It's the states that are more hostile to those sorts of rights where I think her replacement by a conservative member of the court would really have significance.
Professor Cindy Baze, also a professor of law at SIU, met Justice Ginsburg in April of 2019 when a group of about 50 SIU School of alumni went to the Supreme Court for a swearing-in ceremony. Baze describes Justice Ginsburg as being a very gentle and gracious person.
She knew how much it meant to us to meet one of the justices outside of just the formal swearing-in ceremony. I saw her speak at a couple of other conferences as well, and she's physically was such a tiny woman and yet just a giant in the law and really a role model for so many. And so many of us are very much mourning her loss.
Now, another tidbit that Macias spoke on that I would like to mention, he says, according to the polls, Democrats are favored to take control of the Senate after the election and to win the presidency. He says if you were to believe these polls, there would be a major shift in the political order after the November election. In the studio, Denise Turner, News 3.